What's up, everyone? It has been a crazy day. This is a story that is continuing to unfold. There are a lot of updates. There's a lot of things that's happening. There's a lot that's being uncovered. The craziest news, which actually isn't surprising, but is official at this point, is that an email went out from the receiver that has been appointed to manage the Zadeh LLC assets in terms of liquidating and dissolution. And the update says, the receiver has received a significant volume of calls, emails seeking immediate resolution to individual investor, creditor, customer situations. The receiver will not be returning calls at this time, but has established a receivership telephone hotline and will release this phone number before the end of the week. The receiver will also send a formal notice to all investors, creditors, customers in the near future. You will have the opportunity to submit a claim as part of the receivership process. In the interim, you may send your inquiries via email to... Please note that the receiver and his team are reviewing various aspects of the ZadehKicks business and that this process will take some time. The ZadehKicks.com website is currently down, but the receiver is working to reestablish the site or to establish a new site for the purpose of providing receivership updates. The receiver will provide updates via the website on a periodic basis as we get up to speed. The receiver takes these matters very seriously and will pursue all avenues to maximize recoveries for investors, creditors, customers. This is the big one. The receiver is cooperating with the federal government in a criminal investigation. If you believe you are a victim, you can contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov. No one should attempt to contact Michael Zadeh or his family directly. We appreciate your patience at this time. If you know my channel, you know I like to wear crazy jackets. It's just a thing I do for fun. The circumstances surrounding this are somber, so the only thing that made sense was to break out the orange for the jumpsuit that Michael is going to be wearing when this is all said and done. And I'll tell you that this is bizarre because I just have to show you this. Today, a shipment from Zadeh came, and I'm not even gonna deal with opening this right now, but I mean, this is legit. This is what you normally would get from him. 2 Marina Blue Jordan 1s. That's what's supposed to be in here. And I believe they're in here, and I believe they're authentic. And the price that was charged to me was, well, for the Jordan 1s, I think typically slightly over retail. So, you know, that right there is a big part of why so many people bought into his business for so long. And the fact that I'm receiving these raises giant question marks about if he really was trying to take the money and run, or he just got in over his head. Anyway, sorting through the motives and what has really transpired here will be the task of this weekend. I will be doing a lot of due diligence. If you know me, my guilty pleasure is real world true crime. One of my idols is Mariana Van Zeller of Nat Geo. And I feel like I've been kind of thrown right into the middle of what is going to go down as a historic story with respect to crime and greed and getting in over your head in America. But that's not the point of this video here now. I want to get this video out to help people that have been impacted by this with direct action that they can take. So let me explain to you my situation. As I said, I had about $25,000 worth of unfulfilled orders. All of these purchases were made using PayPal with 2 credit cards doing the processing on the back end. They were both credit cards that I held with Chase Bank. So the first thing I did was log into my PayPal account, and I highly recommend you do this if you haven't and you haven't talked to PayPal yet. Log into your PayPal account, go to the Activity tab, do a search for Zadeh, and for all of your purchases that are less than 180 days old, you will have the option on the website to dispute the transaction. So click on the transaction, each individual transaction, to get the details, and you will see a link that says Report a Problem. Click on Report a Problem. There's a process you're gonna have to go through where you fill out a lot of additional details. Once you do it once, you'll get pretty efficient at it. I did it for, I think, 18 transactions. I followed up by calling PayPal this morning during their normal operating hours. They do not have people manning the phones around the clock, so I had to wait until this morning to be able to talk to someone on the phone. And what I got was fantastic news. Let's hope it holds up. What the person said is that all purchases made within the last 180 days are covered by PayPal's purchase protection, and they will give the seller, in this case Zadeh, 10 days to respond to an inquiry, and if he does not respond, which it's obvious at this point he will not, that PayPal will be covering all of those purchases directly. So I can absolutely expect a refund for all purchases made within the last 180 days. I believe that what I've heard here directly from PayPal fits with what a lot of other people are hearing directly from PayPal. So this is great news. Now for me specifically, I did the math. The purchases within the last 180 days for me total roughly $5,500 out of the 25,000 that are unfulfilled. So it's just over 20% that I'll be getting back, but that's something because my baseline going into this was just to expect getting nothing back, and everything else would be a silver lining. Now, the other thing I learned, I asked some questions of the PayPal representative around rumors that I had heard or read or feedback from others. Specifically, is PayPal aware of what's going on, and have they established a team dedicated to this issue? And the answer is yes. They absolutely are aware of the massive issue around Zadeh's business, and they have established a team. And one of the things that they haven't figured out yet, but that I think they are looking into, is how to deal with purchases that did not get fulfilled that are more than 180 days old. The rumor is that Zadeh had a lot of money tied up in his PayPal account, and that has been frozen. Let's hope that there is enough in there that PayPal is able to recoup some additional losses beyond just the 180 days for the people who have been impacted by this. They said that they will be in contact with people who have been affected by this. There will be communication via email, most likely, with updates around what they plan to do with this going forward, and specifically around anything older than 180 days. So I'll be on the lookout for that, and I will update you if I get anything. The other thing that I did last night is I called Chase Bank via the number that's on the back of my credit card, and I spoke with a representative, and I don't know what's ultimately going to happen here by way of a resolution, but the representative was fantastic. I had tens, 50, somewhere between 50 and 70 transactions that I needed to individually dispute. I had to reconcile every transaction I made against my spreadsheet that shows whether or not an order was fulfilled. It took probably an hour, hour and a half to go over all of this on the phone with this person. The Chase representative was very patient. They read back all of the transactions that I made on these 2 Chase credit cards that were unfulfilled, and they created a dispute against all of them. They said it will be 7 to 10 days to hear back. In the meantime, they may ask for more information about what the purchases were. And they openly acknowledged that given the age of some of these purchases, the resolution may be unfavorable to me. When it comes to the credit cards, I think your mileage may vary depending on the age of the transaction and the bank involved and how willing they are to help you. But that's where things currently stand. Man, I tell you, this story is so much bigger than I even could have possibly imagined. The last thing I will recommend is that if you really want to be up to date, join the Zadeh Relief Group Discord. People were asking for this link in the comments on my first video, so I put the link in the description for that video. I will do it again here. So if you view the description of this video, you will see a link to the Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a giant chat room, and it currently has thousands of people who have been impacted by this. It is a community that is trying to sort through this mess and help each other out. There are sections for specific credit card companies that you're working with and how to interact with them and the traction people are getting. General chat, how much have you lost? It really is just a great resource if you've been impacted by this. So I highly recommend that you join if you want the latest news. And the other thing I realized is that this story is so much bigger than I could have possibly imagined. I thought that with 25,000 loss, I was among those more impacted than not. And when you go to this Discord, you realize just the magnitude of this operation and how much money was taken. There are so many people with 6-figure losses, so many people who have been impacted very materially, whether it's 6 figures or just a high percentage of their current net worth. There are a couple, I believe I saw north of 7 figures. If I had to estimate just off of what I'm seeing, and it could be even more than this, there's probably $100 million of unfulfilled orders on the back end. At least tens of millions. And that is absolutely ridiculous. So I feel for everyone out there. I am so sorry that this has happened to you. I do want you to know that at the end of the day, money is just money, and it's not to trivialize it. Everyone needs to be able to pay for basic needs, food on the table, a roof over your head. But after that, making more or losing some, your health, your well-being, it is the most important thing. So do keep that in mind. I promise you, you will get through this. And stay tuned for sometime this weekend. I'll be going full steam for 3 days. I get Friday off, and that's when the work on this starts. I am going to try to make, you know, an American Greed, true crime, Trafficked, my version of what has happened here with as much information that I can gather. If you've got something you think I need to include or information I haven't seen yet, please throw it in the comments below. If you're interested in what this might be, please subscribe if you haven't already. And to those who have and who have hit the like button and who have chimed in with their own personal experience, much appreciated. We will all get through this together. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.